I'm going to say that line again. Our physical is purely a limited reflection of our metaphysical. And then 1 year later, I became the biggest channel on YouTube talking about law of attraction manifestation. I was like, everything is a perspective.
True.
Let's say, for example, if I fall over, I can say that's a low. But me falling over gave me an opportunity to stand back up. So
That's true.
you know, it's like, have I made mistake in business before? Yes. But that was the opportunity that made me learn. So was the low a low, or was the low for the purpose of a high? Spirituality is everything. It's energy. Money is also energy. It's not good, it's not bad, you know? But what are you going to do with it? You know, if you do lots of good with it, I think it's the most spiritual thing. It's the most spiritual tool you can have.
Yeah.
You're creating world peace with money, you know?
Hello, bonjour à tous. I hope you're well. So we're back on this new episode of Reborn Podcast. And today I'm very excited to have an incredible man on my side who is Master Sri Akarshana. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you, Eva, and thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. Are you having a good day?
Yes, every day is a good day. It's a good day to be alive.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, for me too. I'm really excited to have you here today because I'm following your work for a while now, especially on social media and on YouTube. And I love what you're doing. I love your values. So that means a lot to me, for me, that you're here. So
Thank you, thank you.
yeah. For those who don't know you, can you introduce yourself first and a little bit more about your story?
Yeah, so just very short.
Yeah.
I dropped out of college. I was not very academic, and my dad said, "Make money and you'll be successful." So I work in burger vans. Actually, I started flipping burgers, and then went to open my first restaurant. And then went from there to open 5 restaurants, and then went from there to open a franchise, and then I went into other businesses as well. By the time 24, 25, and I became financially free, bought all the things that everybody dreams of, and then fell into deep depression. And that took me onto a volunteer trip out to Kenya. And when I went out there, I seen so much beauty in just in what looks like nothing. Like they have nothing, but they're so happy. And so I learned a lot. I would call it my first awakening, learning that, hey, we can be happy without money. And so that was a big changing point for me. And then after that, I started my charity. So it's been about 12, 13 years now. And every year I go out to Kenya. We have our school, our orphanage, our kids out there. And so we go out every year, support them. At the same time, all this work and investing in different things, they asked me to speak at events in London. And but I was very shy at that point. But I said, hey, just try, you know. So I was really bad at it. Then I went to invest in a coach and learn speaking. And then somehow I became a speaker. I don't know, like, and then that's 12 years of my life. And back in 2018, my friend said that I should do more things on YouTube. I need to do something online. So I said, oh, okay, well, let's try. And again, I found myself a mentor, a coach, and then they taught me how online social media works. And then after 1-2 years, I got about 1 million subscribers. And so the message kind of went out quite a lot, you know, at that point. And so I've been, you know, speaking on stages all around the world and all this. And now in 2019, I was asked to go on a journey in the Himalayas with a Himalayan yogi. And
why did you do that?
Why?
Yeah.
Well, they asked me to go, and I didn't know why they asked me to go.
Okay.
I didn't know why I was selected, and then I thought there's nothing to lose. Let's give it a try. So I went out there, and I didn't know what it was about. I thought it was a yoga retreat, actually. But then I was very wrong, because on the third day, they did something with the third eye, and then I went into all these things and seen all these my future life, my past life. I seen the world and disaster and lockdown and COVID and war and economic crisis, and I seen all of that. And then I seen also my purpose and my part I need to play. And then that kind of brings us to now, which for the past few years I've been sharing that message with the world on how they take care of themselves and thrive through this particular, like, kind of more dark time that's happening right now, and that's pretty much it. I just try to do my best and share a good message with people,
Yeah, I can feel that. I can feel that you have a good energy as well.
Thank
Like
you.
a very good energy. So
Thank you.
that's amazing. And what's your real name?
So my past name was Eric Ho.
Okay.
And so Sri Akarshana was given to me by my spiritual master, Master Akarshana, in 2019. Yeah.
Wow, what a journey!
Hey.
I'm impressed.
It was quite crazy because there was a lot of changes. I mean, now when I look back at old videos of me speaking and things, sometimes I look at it and I can't even recognize the person. It's like, that's strange. How's that me?
Yeah, it's amazing. So the turning point was your depression, I think. No?
Well, there were many turning points. I would think that was a very significant one, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think probably many people are chasing things that they think will bring them happiness. But it's probably just our perception of what, how we've been conditioned, or how social has told us we should live, and what's good, what's bad, And but it's not true, because when we dig deep enough, we can actually find that happiness is from within,
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that type of spiritual awakening or conscious journey, I believe everybody needs to come to that realization at some point. I believe that will, if people had that realization, I think it could save the world right now.
Yeah, definitely. And how did you get into law of attraction and manifesting? Because it's a different thing. So
a friend of mine many years ago gave me a book, The Secret, and then but I don't read, so I just left it on the shelf for about a year. Then he comes to the house one day and he said, "Have you read the book yet?" I said, "No." And he says, "You need to read it. It'll change your life." And I'll be like, "You're crazy. What are you talking about?" And then he gave me another book.
Okay.
It was by Esther Hicks, and it was called Law of Attraction and Money. I read the first 2 pages and I was like, I don't know what this is talking about. What's it talking about? Attracting money. I've always been taught you need to work very hard for money. So again, I just left it on the shelf and I didn't touch it. And then he comes again and he says, "Did you read the book?" I said, "No." He said, "You want to make money, then read it." I was like, I don't know. What's it talking about? Attracting money. That's so strange. I said, "I'm already making money. I don't need that." And then he got me back then. It wasn't a DVD. It was a VCD. Before DVDs. He gave me a CD. He said, "Okay, you don't want to read? Watch this, The Secret." I remember putting it in to the machine and I turned it on. And then they're so weird. Like, they were like, I visualize something, and then and then I visualize another thing. And I remember there was a scene where he said, "I'll visualize," and he thought of an elephant, and then boom, the elephant drops in the room. And then I went to turn the machine off. I said, "I'm done." I said, "I'm not watching this." Okay. And I remember telling Tommy, I said, "I don't know why you want me to watch such nonsense, So I didn't. I just left it. I continued speaking. And I didn't used to teach law of attraction or manifestation, obviously. When I first started as a speaker, I taught how to do business. Okay. So I was a business speaker. And it was so strange how now I say the universe had something planned for me. Because at that point, a lot of my students, my business students, I would say, "Okay, they would sign up to a coaching program." And I say, "What do you want coaching on?" He says, "Oh, I have a qigong, energy healing practice. And I said, what's energy healing? Then he'll talk about it. I'll be like, strange. What's this? And then I'll have another coaching client, and then I'll say, okay, so what's your product? Crystals. And then, these different things, protecting your energies. And I was like, what's that then? So, and the reason why I needed to understand it is because they wanted to pitch their business. For me to teach them how to sell their product, I need to understand this. I said, tell me about it. So, brain waves and subconscious mind and all of these things they would talk about. And I'd be like, why is everyone talking about the same thing? I get another client on, and the client will say, I have a theta healing business. I said, what's theta healing? Then they'll talk about all this attraction and resonance and everything. And slowly, I'm like, wait there a second. I think this thing is real, and so at that point, I didn't rebrand myself, I didn't try, but in a lot of my business talks, I started talking about having the right energy, having the right vibration. Then people will start raising their hands, say, oh, you mean like law of attraction? I'll be like, yeah, like law of attraction. And slowly like that. And then somehow, like I said, I love the saying when they say, man makes his plan and God has his plan for you.
That's true.
Because I feel like I might have had my plan to be the next motivational speaker or business speaker. And then they just wanted me to share law of attraction and manifestation, because when I did lots of topics in YouTube in 2018, my first video that went crazy was called, I think it was 11 Signs What You Want to Manifest Is On Its Way. So it's about manifestation. And it just went. And then every time I did law of attraction, it just went. And then 1 year later, I became the biggest channel on YouTube talking about law of attraction manifestation. I was like, it's kind of like, I don't know how I got here, that type of thing. Yeah.
That's funny, yeah. But what's law of attraction? Actually, we talk a lot about that, but
law of attraction is just saying, if I am at a particular vibration, then I will attract things of that vibration. So I attract what I am. Yeah. In the same sense, you seem very positive minded, and then, hey, I'm on your podcast show, how did you attract that? So a little bit like that, just like, and sometimes people, I think, because they think it's too, what he's talking about, some strange, magic thing, what you're talking about.
They think that,
But I'm like, no, actually, it's very simple. Like, if you walk out today, if you decide today, I'm going to walk out, I'm going to hold a smile on my face for the full day. And then you start counting how many people smile back. And then tomorrow, hold a frown on your face. And then now count how many people smile back. You're going to get less people smiling back.
Yeah.
So you attract what you are,
That's true.
So it's that simple, really.
Yeah. It's so easy, but I don't like the vision that we proclaim of it. Like, always think positive, or bad things will come, or... So do you think that we always have to think positive to attract good things?
I think that everyone should try. I mean, how can we say, hey, think positive? If someone's negative, they're negative. If someone has a challenge, they have a challenge.
Yeah.
And also, it doesn't really help some people. Like, let's say, for example, if some people are suffering from depression, stop thinking about it, think positive. It's not going to help, because they need someone to talk to.
Yeah.
But I think that should be a goal for everybody. The goal should be to try and be happy all the time.
Yeah.
It's a nice goal, yeah. And the thing is, the more we practice it, the better we become at it.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah. But it's hard, to always stay positive and always be happy, because life is made of highs and lows, and it's like that. So how do you do when...
I don't look at life. I mean, yes, if anybody else was watching, I think they would see that everyone's life is made of highs and lows.
Yeah.
How I like to reprogram my mind or have a different cognitive reframe on the situation is, I like to look at it like highs and extreme highs. So that's how I see it, really. And I think everything is a perspective.
True.
Let's say, for example, if I fall over, I can say that's a low.
Mm-hmm.
But me falling over gave me an opportunity to stand back up. So
that's true.
It's like, have I made mistake in business before? Yes. but that was the opportunity that made me learn. So was the low a low, or was the low for the purpose of a high? Yeah, I think once we shift the perspective, then it's not no longer highs and lows. It's kind of just highs and extreme highs, you know?
Yeah, you're right. Everything's about perspective, how you see things, and we don't attract what we want. We attract who we are. So if we see things as just a challenge or something bigger that's coming, everything flows so easily. So I totally agree with you. Yeah. And do you think that law of attraction is something like how to say? It's like we break our old patterns to become someone else, or it's more something how sorry something more mystical, like spiritual, you know, the universe. What do you think?
It's it is more than just our thoughts, but it's a science. Like, I love it when my spiritual master speaks about this, because when I asked my spiritual master, I said, what is spirituality? He said, spirituality is a science. He said, spirituality is saying that everything is energy, and science is saying that everything is energy. So we're here as a physical being, but beyond us, we have an energetic being, like energy. We're energy also. And all energy is interconnected. So does the collective energy change our vibration? Of course it does. All you need to do, I mean, if we step into a negative room, you feel negative. If you step into a positive room, you feel positive. So does the environment affect us? Of course. Now then we say, yeah, but that's only the room we sit in. Not really. It's a collective. It's a global. Let's say, for example, like now we have Trump elected. Does that affect a lot of people's vibrations around the world? Yes. Does it then affect the media and the news? Yes. Does it then affect us? Yes. Indirectly, everything's affecting. And it's happening on an unconscious level. So I like to call that the superconscious. It's the collective. We can call the universal, you know, whatever, God, or, you know, what name we want. But there is something greater, because just like in everything in existence, there are things that we can see and feel. There are things that we cannot see and we cannot feel. So it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Like electricity, it exists. You know, gravity, it exists. But we cannot see it.
Yeah, you're right. I totally agree. But for me, law of attraction and manifesting is always it's as well about breaking old patterns, you know, subconscious patterns, to become someone greater and to a higher purpose. So how do we do to break that old patterns?
Well, there's three ways. The first way to like reprogram the mind or break old patterns is by doing a cognitive reframing. So this is a bit like timeline therapy or NLP, or like, if we go back to an old pattern and we can bring out the situation, let's say we were programmed when we were a kid that things were bad or whatever, we can go back to that situation and then we can use pain and pleasure relation to shift it to pleasure. Then suddenly we may get rid of some old fears or doubts or things like that. So that's cognitive reframing. That's through the mind. The second way is through affirmations. So I can say, you know, my habit could be that I'm lazy, but I can say I'm hardworking, I'm hardworking, I'm hardworking. Now, some people think that's strange, you know, by saying it, you're going to become it. Well, actually, as funny as it sounds, yeah, kind of. Yeah, you will. Because you keep convincing yourself. It's like somebody who's sad and they keep saying, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy. Obviously, if they say it once, it might not work. But if they keep looking in a mirror and keep telling themselves and brainwashing themselves, eventually they'll think, I think I'm happier, you know?
Yeah, true.
It will happen. So affirmations help too. Obviously, if you do the both together, even better. But the difference between the first one is you are ripping out the weeds that have been installed there for so long. The second one is laying the new turf. Well, affirmations, you're putting it on top. So that's why sometimes people, if you don't affirm enough and your weeds are strong there, let's say in your childhood upbringing, people said that, you know, things are too expensive. It's not easy to make money, right? That's weed is so strong. It's been there so many years. And then you just say, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich. But inside is saying, no, making money is hard. So it keeps growing out. So that's why I always recommend doing the first process, then doing the second process with new lawn is on there. Wow, beautiful flowers, everything come. And then the final one is what I was actually learning when I was in the Himalayas, which is more to do with energy healing. So the first two are attacking the mind. But we're not just the mind, because energetically we may store some traumas or blockages. Whether it's this life, past life, there's energy blockages. And I always say to people, our physical, so what we see, is purely a limited reflection of our metaphysical.
Can you explain?
What that means is our metaphysical is infinite. Our energetic body is infinite. We're abundant. We're connected with the universe. We're connected with everything.
Yeah.
Right? And but our physical body is a representation of what's happening with my energy body.
Yeah.
If my energy is not connected or vibration isn't high enough and I'm not tuned in, I've got some blockages in the body. What in yoga we call chakras or nadis. When there's blockages, what happens is it represents on our physical body.
Yeah.
Now, one thing that a lot of people are not aware of, let's take fear, doubt, trauma, things like this. Where is our emotions stored in our body? People will say emotions probably stored in the mind or the heart. Emotions are stored here. These are our lower three chakras. Our lower three chakras, we have our energy center. And that's why in yogic practices, we do a lot of breath work, which expand and contract the stomach area. Because what it does is it releases, and that's why a lot of people can practice yoga or breathwork and start crying, because it releases a lot of trauma. So I would recommend doing that type of practice because, and another thing as well, like I'm going to say that line again, our physical is purely a limited reflection of our metaphysical. If my metaphysical, my energy body is blocked, then it's going to show on my physical body. For example, many people, when it comes to losing weight, the rest of the body is quite easy to lose. And quite interestingly, even belly fat, this top part is quite easy to lose. But the hardest part to lose is the bottom, that ring on the bottom, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And that is exactly the location of the energy center, your solar plexus, your sacral chakra, your root chakra, right there. And there is a breath work we actually do called Kapalbhati.
I heard about it.
Yeah, when we do that, we are just attacking here with the breath work. When we practice that for I've had a lot of students, they practice for 2 weeks, 10 minutes a day, they lose a couple of inches here. And how can you physical change? Because you finally freed your metaphysical body. So, these are the three things, when it comes to any traumas, any negativity, any problems, any bad habits, these are three things I think people must do,
Yeah.
And that's to change it. But then keeping the change. Sustainable is something else. That is down to environment.
Yeah.
Because we are, our results is a product of our nature and our nurture. Nature, what are we going to change? We were born a certain way, great, Nurture, we're nurtured every day. Are we changing our environment, Because we are a sum of our environment. Yeah. So that's very important too.
Yeah. And the environment for me, it's everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. You need to be very careful about that and work on it. So.
I mean, If you're surrounded by people who wake up at 1 p.m. every day and don't do anything all day, you're gonna do the same thing. If
Yeah.
you're surrounded by people who eat unhealthy every day, you're gonna eat unhealthy every day.
Yeah.
So environment is everything. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. Thank you so much for sharing this. But yeah, it's something important. It's to work about your emotions, like stuck emotions, as you said. For me, I'm working on it too. And when you release that, I don't know, it's like magic. Everything starts to flow easily and you attract amazing things. I don't know how to explain, but it's like magic. So yeah, thank you for that. And what stops most people from achieving their life dream, their dream life?
I think two things. And it's the same thing we talk about manifestation: alignment and intensity. So, alignment meaning, is my thoughts, my feelings, my actions aligned with achieving the goal? Sometimes people think, I want my business to be successful. Okay, so are all your thoughts, your strategy, are you doing the right things to actually make it successful? If not, then it's not going to be successful. So you got to be taking the right action. Some people say, oh, yeah, take action, you'll be successful. No, you got to take the right action. So that's very important. So you got to find a coach, you got to find a mentor to show you, okay, this is how it's done, somebody who's done it before. So our thoughts need to be aligned, our feelings, our vibrations. Let's say somebody says, my thought is, I'm going to become a millionaire. And then their vibrations around it, like, what do they feel about it? Well, it's going to be hard, but I'll try.
Yeah.
Then that's doubt.
Yeah.
The emotion, the vibration is doubt, there's fear, it's lack, right? And then their action is very important too. And most people don't realize it's misaligned. That's why a lot of people practice law of attraction or manifestation and it doesn't work for them, because in the morning they're, I'm doing affirmations. I am rich. I am wealthy. I'm a magnet to money. And then they'll go to the supermarket and then they'll say, oh, that one's cheaper. Let me go for the cheaper one. So
that's true.
So it's like,
yeah.
So it's like our thoughts are saying, oh, yeah, I'm rich. Our practice is saying that. Our vibrations is trying to get there. Our actions is completely opposite.
Yeah.
So, I see a concert. Oh, that one's too expensive.
Yeah.
I don't have that money. So now these are your affirmations too. So I think that alignment needs to be on point. The second thing is about intensity. How big is your energy? What people will say, how bad do you want it? Like, that's very important. What's your desire? Is it big enough? Right? I mean, are you working all the time for it? Are you really intense all the time? Or, nah, well, I fixed myself. I'll work on it from 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. every day. And, that's a healthy, balanced life for me. So then it's not intense.
Yeah. Yeah.
So as if it's intense and it's aligned, you'll get anything you want.
Yeah. Yeah, true. But for me, everything is about focus as well. If you're distracted always by everyone, by your environment, how can you attract what you want in life? Like, you need to be focused as well.
Right.
So, yeah. And a lot of people lack of focus nowadays with everything that's happening in the world, with the certain information. So, yeah, thank you so much for sharing this. And what's the most common limit belief that people have?
There's too many. I think limiting belief is that I think it's a limited unconscious belief though. And I think it's that they can't do it. Yeah. I think just that they can't do it. They'll give many reasons. I'm not good enough. I don't know how. It's not easy. Many things, know. Everything is to do with our belief system, Belief leads to action. Action leads to results. Starts from belief. Yeah. But I think there's too many. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, you're right. Yeah. Yeah. And about money as well, as you said, I think too. About money. There's a lot of limit beliefs about money that people have.
Yeah. I think there's many. Fear of success is one, So it's just a very strange one, actually. And some people unconsciously feel that money is the root of all, and then they'll think evil. There's a part of it that has a negative thing with money.
Yeah.
But everything needs reprogramming there, because they need to realize that money is not good, it's not bad. It's just neutral. Depends what you do with it.
Yeah.
Some people, if you're a bad person and you make a lot of money, you'll do more bad things. If you're a good person, you make money, you probably do a lot of charity work.
Yeah.
So I feel when you understand that and you have a good heart, then understand, hey, money's great. Have more of it.
Yeah.
You can do a lot of good out there. So I think that there's a lot. I think maybe for a lot of people, the biggest limiting belief with money is that it's not easy to make. If we have that belief, it's very hard to make money. Yeah.
I had that one before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what they need to do is they need to keep looking at success stories. Like I have a friend who was working in a supermarket a few years ago, and then now she's got, I don't even know how much, hundreds of millions of dollars or something like that. A few years, they talk about 3-4 years later. And how do you do it? Crypto. And then people will be like, oh, but it's not that easy. Why are you limiting yourself? They just did it.
Yeah.
It was easy. They did it,
Yeah.
And then, but I had a friend who didn't. Yeah, majority of people don't make money. Many things, majority of people don't make money. But that's not who you're trying to be. If you're trying to be the minority, the successful people, then you should be looking at everybody who's succeeded in doing it and saying, hey, if you've done it, and you've done it, and you've done it, and you've done it, then actually it's probably easy, But the reason why it's not easy is because I'm listening to the majority of people who lose it. So I need to ask the minority people, how did you do it? How did you do it? How did you do it? And then when they share, you actually realize, actually it's not that hard, But then obviously, like I said, that's the alignment in how to do it, the strategy. But obviously I need to put the action into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how do you manage that two part of your life? Because a lot of people say that if you're spiritual, you can't make money or it's bad. How do you manage that?
Manage other people's opinion,
Yeah.
manage other people's opinion, or manage your own thoughts.
People's opinion.
It does nothing to do with me. I think that people who are spiritual and don't have money, I feel they're suffering somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Totally agree.
I feel they are. I mean, I know a lot of very spiritual people, very kind-hearted, big-hearted people. They want world peace. I want world peace. Send healing to the world. They love meditation, visualization, feeling everything, here. But when they open their eyes, they're stuck because they've got kids they need to pay for. They haven't got, they've got rent, they've got food, they've got bills, and then they're stuck in a vibrational low in physical reality is no good. Look, we are a metaphysical being. We're spiritual, we're spirit, we're soul. There's energy. And we're in a physical body. Meaning, learn how to play both games. Learn how to be spiritually, vibrationally connected and high vibration.
Yeah.
And also learn physically, what do you need to do, You got to do something, People who say, spiritual people should not have money, then I know they're suffering. They're suffering somewhere. They're suffering because as long as you live in this physical world, unless they are actually living in the caves in the Himalayas, then fine, you don't need money, actually. You'll be happy. Nature every day, grab an apple from a tree, free food, free water, and the water's amazing, But if they live in a physical realm where there's people and they need to go to the supermarket to buy things, actually money is important, And I always say to people who say money is not important, I say, come to Kenya with me, meet my kids. Because when you meet the kids, even my kids know that money is important.
Yeah.
Because without money, they will not be alive right now.
So true.
So how I look at spirituality is everything. It's energy. Money is also energy. It's not good, it's not bad, But what are you going to do with it? If you do lots of good with it, I think it's the most spiritual thing. It's the most spiritual tool you can have.
Yeah.
You're creating world peace with money. You know?
And I think it amplifies who you are. So if you're a good person, you will attract good. Like you will do more good things. But if you're a bad person, you will do more bad things.
That's
So,
right.
yeah, totally agree. And about you, how do you do when you experience difficult times?
I think number one, I do breath work because I mean, if we all just slow down our breath, it doesn't matter what thought we had before. It doesn't matter what anger, frustration, upset you had before. You suddenly feel calmer, and that's one breath. What if we did 5 minutes of it? What if we did 10 minutes of it? Suddenly, that chaos just calms down through just breath work alone. So that's always the first step. The second thing is I start counting my gratitude. What am I grateful for? The reason why because the problem is when a challenge happens, an obstacle happens, people spiral into the negativity and then they attract more negativity.
Yeah.
They attract more problems. So instead of doing that, what we want to do is we want to shift it as soon as we can. So the first thing is calm your vibration, calm your mind, no thoughts. Second thing is gratitude. They say you can't be angry and grateful at the same time. So the moment you start thinking everything you have, you can only be grateful for everything you have, right? So I'm grateful for life, grateful for breath. I'm grateful that I'm alive right now. Grateful that I can see things. Grateful that we can do this podcast show. Wow, amazing! It doesn't matter what's happening. When you start thinking about gratitude, your energy, your emotions will start to shift in the right direction towards more positive things. So that's the second thing, which will naturally shift your vibrations. And the third part is now ask yourself, what do you want to focus on? Like, what's your goal? And I'm guessing your goal is to solve the problem. I'm guessing your goal is the solution behind the obstacle or the challenge you're facing right now. So now focus on the solution. When you focus on finding the solution and finding the answers, you're going to get the answers. If you focus on the problems, you're going to get more problems.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for sharing this. I totally agree with you, and I will try this as well. And what advice can you give to someone who wants to create a new reality for 2025?
I, I would say I give this line to get yourself educated. Yeah. Go learn. Find a coach, find a mentor. Because it's hard when you're trying to figure out yourself. The shortcut is to find somebody who has achieved what you want to achieve and ask them, how did you achieve it?
Yeah.
That's the easiest way. If you don't ask, you don't get. You're trying to figure out yourself. Oh, let me try this. Oh, let me try that. Oh, let me try my creativity. Look, it's great. I mean, I know that because I'm a creative mind. And I used to always do the same thing. But it's the slowest thing. Why do I want the slowest way to become successful? Let me try this creativity. Let me try that creativity. Let me try that. Oh, because this is my style. Nobody cares because you keep doing your style. You probably need to try a million things before you finally make it. I don't try that. I don't because I realized through time because I wasted
Yeah.
I wasted so many years trying my thing, and then I realized that hey, actually, if I find somebody who already knows how something is achieved, then I just do the same as them. I just get the result, And I think that's very important. And also another thing as well, when people talk about success, because you said how to be successful, this year. I mean, what is the definition of success for you? I think that needs to be. You need to be have a lot of clarity on what is it that you're actually looking for. Like, success for me back then was making money. So find yourself somebody who makes a lot of money and just do exactly what they're doing. Don't put your own mind in it. Don't be like, oh, but I don't like to do that. Or that doesn't, no, I don't know how to do that. Or, no, it doesn't matter. Then learn. Just go do it, Just go. If that's your goal, go do it.
Yeah.
Some people's success might be happiness. Again, find other people who are happy and then just start questioning, how are they happy? Just like I did when I was in Kenya, how are they happy? And I realized, oh, they're just playing, just in the moment. When we live in the moment, we're happy,
Yeah.
So find the right people and then ask for the guidance. It's your shortcut.
Yeah, I love that vision. And can you give us some easy practices to implement in our daily lives to attract what we want? You talked about affirmations. Do you have any other practices?
Okay, so I think we can start from think it. So keep thinking. So try to think as much as you can throughout the day what you are wanting to attract. Right? Think it as much as you can. Right? Script it. Write down with as much clarity as you can. Every day do scripting. Write down, what is that goal? Write it down. What does it look like? What does it feel like? Write everything down. Scripting it is very
Yeah.
important. Okay. 3, speak it. Talk to as many people as you can about it. Just tell everybody, this is what I'm attracting, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm doing. Because the more you keep telling people that's what you are attracting, the more you start believing you're going to be attracting that thing, right? So speak it is very important. So speak it out, speak it into existence, very important, right? The next thing is act it. So every day, try to act. Imagine you're already there, action it, act it, okay, do it. If you're saying, I'm trying to attract a mansion, a house, then go and view some houses, sit on that sofa and feel like, hey, this is mine. Act it. Because when you get yourself into that environment again, you get into that vibrational frequency. So I think these things, if you do that enough times every single day, right? Our thinking, our feeling, our speaking, our scripting, all these things are acting, you will eventually get there. For sure, you will get there. Yeah, but it's about how intense you do this.
Yeah.
If you're saying, "Hey, let me try one time," not going to work,
No.
But if I do it all the time, and I'm
Yeah.
intense, eventually you'll get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you're committed to who you want to be, you always get there. So it's
Yeah.
just about commitment as well.
I mean, that was my, as humans, and this is quite interesting because a lot of humans, we fear other people's perception of us. We fear what other people think, what people say, right? But actually, that can sometimes be a strength. If you do what I just said, the practices I just said, it can become a strength because it did for me. I kept telling everybody every single day for how many years? I told them for years, I'll become a millionaire. I'm going to drive this car. I'm going to do this. I didn't even realize this, but I had I was with my dad a few months ago out in Hong Kong, and he said to me, because we were talking about an uncle of mine, and he said, "Can you remember when you were 23 and you were working in the restaurant, you kept telling your uncle that you're going to, in a few years' time, you're going to drive a Ferrari?" And I said, "Really?" I said that. He said, "Yeah, you used to tell him all the time." And my dad said, and I used to say, "How can you speak like that to your uncle?" He's like, "How can you say that?" And I couldn't even remember that I used to say that. But the interesting thing is, especially if you fear what other people think, if I keep telling people, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm doing, then I'm like, I must do it now, because otherwise if I don't do it, everyone's going to laugh at me. So in that
Yeah,
sense,
true.
now my intensity of action becomes even more
Yeah.
because I've been saying it, I've been scripting, I've been telling people, so. Yeah.
I love that, really. Okay, thank you so much. And what's your vision for 2025?
My personal vision for myself or my vision for the world?
For yourself first.
My vision for myself is to just impact more lives. I'm very grateful for everything I have, and very grateful for this journey. Through We're now going into technology, so hopefully going into technology, using technology to impact more lives. We've got our own platform launching, um, our own app, Metaverse, and all this. So my dream and goal for that to be able to help more people, people who are less fortunate, to continue to expand our charity work. Right now, I'm also manifesting a miracle in my life too, because I just got signed by artist manager, so I'm launching my song and album next
Oh,
year as well.
wow.
So that's another vision that I know that is going to manifest, because it's already happening, and so I think that the music industry, or even the whole entertainment industry, needs a lot more positivity. And so when we can put positive lyrics and things like 5 to 8 hertz frequencies, healing frequencies into music. I think it can really heal the world. So yeah, that's my personal vision for what I'm doing this year coming. Yeah.
Wow, amazing. I can't wait for your album,
Oh, thank you.
right? Yeah, amazing. And about the world, what's your vision?
With the world, um, we're going through an interesting phase. There's a lot of chaos happening around the world. Everyone can see it. So we always say chaos to order. It's a period that we must go through and grow through. So without it being heavy for the world, everybody should think on the positive side to things. They should empower themselves. They should find opportunities. They need to understand that every downfall, there's always opportunities to grow. Many, many very successful people in the past have grown through recessions and depressions and things like that. And it's a big opportunity. So again, that's why I kept encouraging that everybody should be learning right now new things and trying new things. And just keep head up high, stay positive, stay smiling, stay active, serve more, give more, love more, do more. And surely everybody will start finding ways to be able to serve the world. And I believe that this should be our vision for 2025, is the vision for world peace, because the world really needs us right now, and the world needs us to come together. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much for sharing all of this, and thank you for being here with me today.
Thank you
I
so
really
much for
enjoyed.
having me. Eva. Thank you.
Thank you. I really enjoyed that conversation. I hope you too.
Yes, very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here with me. And I see you for the next episodes, and I wish you a very good day. Bye bye.